Protesters in cities and towns across Ethiopia's Amhara region have rallied in support of their local forces for 5 days in a row. They want the federal government to abandon its plans to integrate their regional fighters into the national military or police. Violence near Amhara's border with Tigray forced some areas to impose curfews and restrict public transport.
The historic town of Gondar, which is a UNESCO-recognized town, has called for curfew, trying to end this public defiance against the Ethiopian government that insists there won't be any kind of compromise in terms of ending the special forces in which the Amhara regions, as well as other regions, have benefited from in the past.
The plan will apply to 11 regions which have their own fighting groups and use their own languages. The government of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed says it's critical for the national unity of Ethiopia. But it's not been well received in Amhara, whose regional forces supported the federal army in its 2-year conflict with rebels in Tigray that began in 2020. Since then, Amhara leaders have accused the federal government of ignoring attacks on ethnic Amharas living in the neighboring Oromia region. They fear dissolving their regional forces will leave them vulnerable to further attacks and prevent them from defending themselves. Barbara Angopa, Al Jazeera.
Live now to Charlotte, North Carolina, to Tewodros Turfi, who is chairman of the Amhara Association of America. Good to have you with us, sir. Why is there so much anger and frustration in Amhara over what the federal government wants to do here?
Adrian, thank you for having me on your program today. It's very simple. At the beginning of April, the regime of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali and the Oromo ruling branch of the Prosperity Party began a new wave of attacks against the Amhara people to dissolve the Amhara Regional Special Forces, which are critical to maintaining peace and security in the Amhara region. This unprecedented, illegal, and unilateral disarmament of the Amhara Regional Special Forces will leave millions of Amharas defenseless and also helpless.
Why can't...
This is very important here.
Yeah, but why can't the Amhara Special Forces, if they're absorbed into a national army, still protect Amhara as part of Ethiopia's national army?
That's a very good question. The Amhara people do not have trust in in Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali. The purpose for disarming is really dissolving and really not incorporating them into the Ethiopian military. It is really to disarm and dissolve. And the purpose behind it is to render Amhara people defenseless again, and also allow the re-annexation of ancestral Amhara lands back into the TPLF. That is why many Amharas across the region have been protesting, millions, for the past 4 days. And unfortunately, and one thing also that is clear is that the Amhara region has the power within the constitution to also establish regional forces. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali did this without communicating to the Amhara people, explaining the reasons behind it. This is just a unilateral and an illegal move by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali. At a time when the country no longer needs this level of instability, Abiy Ahmed Ali is causing instability again within the country.
How dangerous is the situation then? Could this turn into a situation where Amhara regional forces are fighting with the national army? Could civil strife ensue?
It's already started. They have been protests for 4 days straight across the entire region. Millions of people have come out to the streets. The Ethiopian military has opened live fire against peaceful protesters. There have been reports of clashes in North Wollo and also in the central part of the country. We're concerned that the situation is going to get out of hand. And that's why we are pleading with the international community to quickly step in and condemn the actions of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali and his administration, and to impose targeted sanctions against Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali, General Burhanu Jula, and also General Ababaw Taddese, who are responsible for this. If this does not happen, if the international community does not quickly step in, we are very concerned that not only would this further destabilize the region, but the country, the Horn of Africa, and the entire continent of Africa as well. We're talking about a country that is 5 times the size of Syria. We saw what happened in Syria. There's about 115 million people in Ethiopia. And this is really unnecessary. In the past few weeks, several generals have been arrested already, including Maskaram Abera, that was arrested yesterday. This is her 3rd time this year that she has been arrested. Civic leaders, youth leaders, they're just being abducted by Ethiopian security personnel without any provocation at all. And so that's why we're really asking the international community to quickly step in.
Okay.
For 4 days, millions of people have been protesting. In addition to what's happening within the Amhara region, the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali's regime has been demolishing the homes of Amharas in Addis Ababa, in the capital itself. As a result, thousands of Amharas have been made homeless.
Okay.
This is incredible, and this is unprecedented.
All right, so we're going to have to edit there. Many thanks indeed for being with us. Tawadros Turfy there in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina.